Dude, when people were talking about Honkai Star Rail, how they were anticipating it failing purely due to the fact that it was a low-quality, turn-based Genshin clone, I was one of the people that were genuinely optimistic because I'm a big fan of turn-based combat in my video games. So I thought, you know what? Even despite it being turn-based, even despite it being a contrastingly different game to Genshin Impact, it's going to be good. It's going to be big, and it is going to allow for Hoyo to further dominate the genre. But even with that in mind, I never anticipated the earnings, the success that this game would garner Hoyo. I did not expect the records that have been set, and I did not expect it to do what it has done to every other gacha game. Hoyo versus Honkai Star Rail expected to earn $280 million worldwide in its first month. Now, before I go any further, I do want to note here, I did a video earlier today going over how much each gacha game in the top 20 gacha games earned. I do this series very often, monthly. It is a series that does exceptionally well on my channel. In that video, I noted that Honkai Star Rail successfully earned more money than the second highest grossing gacha game, Genshin Impact, the third, the fourth, the fifth, all the way through the 20th combined, and then doubled. That is the crazy success that Honkai Star Rail has had thus far. Now, when I did a video on Star Rail's earnings, I think it was roughly a week or two ago, it was not tracking at 280 million. It was tracking at roughly, I think, $40 to $50 million less than that. But as of June 8th, this game has hit almost $300 million over the course of its first month. That is what it is tracking at. And if this game is played by an equal number of players on PC, which I strongly suspect it is, this game is trending at closer to $600 million earned in its first month. That is absolutely crazy. I cannot put into words how shocked I am that Star Rail has earned what it has earned. But more than that, as you can tell here, it is currently averaging 23 million players per day. Now, before we go into any more specifics, I want to take a moment here to thank our incredible patrons over on Patreon who allow for me to continue to cover games like this every single day. I truly cannot thank you all enough. Also, if you have a moment, consider following me over on Twitch, where I stream every weekend most of the time, and I'm going to be streaming all week because Blue Protocol is coming out, and I'm very excited to play it. Hoyo versus new hit game Honkai Star Rail earned approximately 1.2 billion RMB, which equates to $168 million in the first month since its global launch on April 26th, according to intelligence firm Sensor Tower. Data from Sensor Tower does not include revenue from third-party Android channels and PC sales in China. However, as a result, the game's actual revenue may have topped 280 million if we're combining global with China, according to estimations by Chinese media outlet Beijing, actually. The top three contributing markets for the game are China, Japan, and the US. China makes sense. China makes up roughly half of what Genshin Impact makes per month. Japan are obsessed with waifus, so that makes sense also. And the US, because, I mean, yeah, I actually have no idea. With China accounting for over 40% of its total rev, that's crazy. Hoyoverse, a developer of Genshin Impact, has not released any official data regarding Honkai Star Rail's revenue, and honestly, they're probably not going to. Now, they will reveal when certain milestones are met with regards to player concurrency, total players. I'm assuming if they ever cross like 50 million concurrent players online, or 50 million players logging in over the course of a day, or 100 million total players registered, sure. But earnings? I don't think so. As of June 7th, the number of online active players for the new game reached approximately 23 million. According to Player Auctions, which employs Google Trends as its data source. Oh, and that's it. That's the whole article. Oh. Well. Okay. Well, there you have it. $280 million on Android and iOS, global and China. 23 million players tracked. I don't know if that counts PC players as well, or if it's only tracking Android and iOS players. I don't know, but I guarantee you, now that Star Rail has been confirmed to be releasing onto the PlayStation 5 in the fourth quarter of 2023, which I've actually done a dedicated video on, this is going to track significantly higher. This is going to make even more money. I think Honkai Star Rail might be the first gacha game in recorded history to break $1 billion earned within its first 3 months. I think if any game has the potential to, this is the game. Now, if Honkai Star Rail isn't your kind of game, absolutely no problem. I got you covered with 2 different videos on screen right now that might be of more interest to you.